Come on here, guys. All right, well, right now we are live right now, streaming on Ustream, and hopefully we have some people visiting us here shortly. My name is Garza. We're live here at Coffee Grounds at the corner of Graz's and McGowan. So we're going to be talking a little bit about social media coming up this week. We're in the middle of Entrepreneurship Week right now. It's being celebrated all across the globe. I think it started off Monday morning, and Thursday actually there's going to be a straight 24 hours of festivals going on all across the globe. And this is going to be Houston's very first social media festival. So we're, and not just social media festival, but just entrepreneurial media and entrepreneurial festival. So we're really excited about that. So with us we have a very special guest. That's Mr. Eric Standlee. Eric Standlee is the founder of In Houston. And he's all about net weaving and about serving and servant leadership and giving back, establishing relationships. And, you know, Tex, we're all about that too. That's one of the reasons why we do this podcast. We give back to the community to help businesses promote themselves online. We help them gain exposure. We don't pass out business cards. Only if they ask for it do we give it to them. So that's our whole mission here with this podcast. So let's talk with Mr. Eric Standlee. You can ask questions to each other. I'm going to let you guys talk, and I'm going to save my voice. Is that okay with you guys?
All right. Most definitely.
You've been talking too much, Ed.
How long has Houston been going, Eric?
We started in Houston actually online on LinkedIn November 2007.
Okay. And how did you get the idea?
I was learning how to network. To be honest, I'm a recovering geek, and networking doesn't come naturally to geeks. And so I was learning how to network, and I was applying some things that I learned in a book called Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi. Really good book. If you're a geek, I recommend it highly. But I applied those principles in that book to my life and to networking on LinkedIn initially. And it's a real safe place to get started because, you know, there are people you don't know. You're meeting them just like you would in a mixer, but you don't have to be face to face with them, and you can network in a safe distance and learn some things. I did that and started realizing that I needed to meet a lot of people. I had 2,000 direct connections on LinkedIn, and in my network, that's my first degree, and in my network there was over 150,000 people in Houston at that point. And I was trying to meet them for coffee or lunch or breakfast or sometimes dinner, and it was going to take 3 lifetimes to actually meet all those people.
Okay.
And I realized that I needed to do something different, and so I said, hey, why don't we start having mixers? Just threw the idea out there, and some people said sure. So in February 2008, we had 6 people show up.
Okay.
To our first mixer. So.
And now you have hundreds, like 400 people that come in to have a glass of wine.
It's not the biggest in Houston, but yeah, we have, you know.
It's not the smallest either.
Yeah, it's not small. So yeah.
Everything's big in Texas, so man, 400 people, that's a lot.
Well, yeah, well, compared to big in Texas, it's small. But
Sure.
But you know, hey, I tell people I invited some friends out for drinks, and 400 people show up. So.
Well, that's a lot of friends, Eric. That really speaks highly of you. That obviously that you have that law of attraction that people are attracted to. Now through that, it's all about paying it forward, right? And that's what people are attracted
I think that's
to the
what
entire concept that you have going on.
Yeah.
Okay, now go ahead and explain that.
Well, pay it forward. Obviously, there's a movie called Pay It Forward. It's an idea of giving to somebody without any expectation of anything in return.
Okay.
And it's really counterintuitive. Well, in fact, most gurus are going to teach you that you need to go to a networking mixer with a goal in mind of exactly how many cards you're going to walk away with, how much business you're going to walk away with. And I would tell you, if you do that, you're going to come across as desperate. You're going to come across as a taker and not a giver. And you're going to probably not get what you're looking for. But if you go there as somebody who, you know, even if you have a small network, but you really feel like you can give to the people you're talking to, even if it's just introducing to the person you just talked to at the meeting. If you go with that attitude of giving first, then you're going to get a lot more in return. I tell you, I have people come to me every meeting, people who were just like me. They were geeks or or shy or not really good at networking, and they come to me at the end of the meeting and they say, Eric, I love this idea. I don't have to tell them about me at all. I just sit there and ask them questions and see how things are going for them, see how I can help them, and then they eventually ask me who I am, and it's me answering a question instead of me trying to come up with the perfect 30-second elevator pitch that I'm going to puke on them and they're going to want to suddenly magically want to buy from me.
Sure, most definitely. And all too often we see that happen where someone just comes in and say, hey, I don't care about you, listen to all about me, and then that doesn't work.
Yeah, no, I mean, think about it. Any time you're talking to somebody, it's a relationship, and if it's one way, that person's going to turn you off immediately. I had a lady come up to me at the meeting, and I had to send an email about it because I was really embarrassed of the other people who were talking to me. We were, 5, 6 people. We were just sitting there chatting, and she comes in the middle and starts handing out stuff to everybody, and just interrupts the whole thing and starts talking to everybody. I'm sitting there holding her thing thinking, gosh, I really want to tell this lady that I'm just going to drop her thing on the floor because she just interrupted our conversation. It was very rude. And
wow.
I didn't, but that's the kind of response that people need to understand that they're getting if they're doing that kind of thing. So.
Most definitely. Well, when does In Houston meet?
We're all over the board. We have our main mixer, which is at Uptown Park in the tasting room right now. And it's meeting from 3 to 8. On every second Wednesday.
Okay.
So I don't know what the second Wednesday in December is, but that's the next one that comes up. And if you go to inhouston.ning.com/events, you can find all the events, and that'll be one of them that's up there.
Okay, great. So In Houston is its own social media tool as well. People can be a part of it just like on Facebook.
Yeah.
So you can get on there and you can interact with other In Houston members. We have regular meetings that take place once a month.
We have meetings, some of them that are weekly.
Okay.
So we have, networking breakfasts where people are getting together and doing referral clubs.
Okay.
We also have lunches. We have things that are meeting once a month, and those are typically your mixers at Uptown, Downtown, Midtown, the Woodlands, down in Sugarland, in League City, out in Katy. They're all over town.
Okay, well that sounds great. Well, I'll tell you what, Houston, if you're looking for an organization to get plugged in, you want to have the opportunity to grow with people socially every single week, as well as to grow socially online as well. That's exactly what In Houston provides to the Houston community.
Yeah.
And this is Eric Standlee, and CEO of the organization, correct?
Well, In Houston really is a meta group. It's a group of people who are on Facebook, a group of people who are on inhouston.ning.com, and a group of people who are on LinkedIn. We try to be everywhere anybody is going to be, but there's no CEO of the group. I call myself the chief instigator.
There you go, the chief instigator. Well, there you go. We've had the chief instigator of In Houston today with us, and it's been a joy and honor to get to have you with us today.
Thank you, Tex.
All right.
Good talking with you.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
good to see you, Eric.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely want to make it to Eric's mixers, and of course, we have an event that we're actually going to be speaking at, which we still need to organize some of those details, but we will. We will. But folks, thank you very much for joining us. My name is Ed Garza, Vice President of Marketing for the Hub Market and Houston Marketing Coach.